The only disability is a bad attitude. It is with this in mind that Blake Leeper, the American Bladerunner, has become not only a notable United States Paralympian, but also an inspiration for people with and without disabilities all over the world. Born in Tennessee, Blake is a bilateral below-the-knee amputee who has competed in various sports throughout his lifetime with the use of prosthetics. From a young age, Blake's athletic prowess, as well as his determination, helped him achieve his goals. He has gone from competing on his high school varsity basketball team to an international debut in 2009 in Rio de Janeiro. And along the way, his successes have ignited his incredible international career. He has been recognized as the International Paralympic Committee's Athlete of the Month, as well as the United States Olympic Committee's Male Athlete of the Month. And having won multiple medals from the IPC World Championships and Paralympic Games, Blake currently has his sights set on competing as the first American Paralympian in the able-bodied Olympics in Rio 2016. While Blake's athletic achievements have shaped his career and his life, he believes it is just as important, if not more so, to share his story in order to motivate others to find their paths, discover their own potential, and most importantly, never give up. It's truly my pleasure to introduce you all to Blake Leeper. Thank you.
I'm from Kingsport, Tennessee, a little small town in East Tennessee. I'm a country boy. So accepting your destiny is a huge part of becoming a man.
Well, we're building up now to the final. Previous winners, Jesse Owens, Harrison Dillard, Bob Hayes, Carl Lewis, Maurice Green. What a lineup we have.
Man, you have to imagine, you see the stadium coming in, you see the people around just packing into the stadium. But as soon as you step on that track, and all of a sudden you just hear 80,000 people just, and when you first walk out, you see faces. The deeper you get into the stadium, the faces just become heads. Heads become dots. And all of a sudden it's just a crowd, just bodies of people out there just yelling and screaming. They can go from rocking the place down to complete silence. And it's just, when you all in the blocks, they say your name.
Carrying the flag for the United States.
United States of America, put your name on the screen, put your face on the screen.
The Olympic men's final.
Now they say you hear on your mark, and just the whole stadium.
On your mark.
The jolt, and you hear the crowd going, it's a dream. I'm just floating out there. I have no control over my body. I have no control over my emotions. I have no control. I'm just going, and you leave it all on the track.
Set.
Blake and got away brilliantly, and he's ahead of the field at the moment, and Bolt going very, and here comes Blake storming through. He takes it against Usain Bolt, gets the silver. Oh, he's retained his title in the most emphatic way. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. A superb demonstration of power sprinting. What a performance that was.
It's more than just about Blake Leeper. It's about the legend. How is it going, guys? You guys doing all right today? Great, awesome, cool. Well, today, my name is Blake Leeper. I am a U.S. Paralympian. But today, I'm just here to tell you my story, tell you some of the things and the challenges that I've been through in my life. One of the three major things that I truly focus on is the power of positivity. That's one of the first things I'm gonna be talking about. The second thing, the power of perception, right? And how you perceive life and how you take it for what it is. And the third thing, the power of teamwork. And I feel like with these three factors working, coexisting together, is the reason why I've been able to overcome my disability, has been the reason why I've been able to become a track and field runner and win medals and do the things that I've done in my life, is because of these three things has made me stronger. So with that being said, you guys ready? Yeah? All right, cool. So, August 31st, 1989 was the day that I was born, right? You have to imagine that I'm the youngest son, and on my father's side, me and my older brother are the only two kids. So my aunt, my uncle, my grandparents, of course, mother and father are there. Everybody is there and so excited, right? Baby boy Blake is being born, right? And of course, my birth happens and the doctors rush me right out the room. And they have to come back and have that conversation with my mother and my father. Mr. and Mrs. Leeper, you know, I'm sorry, but Blake was born missing both of his legs. You know, Mr. Leeper, I know you love sports and you have a healthy older son, but the chances of Blake even walking, running, are very limited. And when my parents tell me this story, right, because such a joyous day, right, such a happy day, and just like that, it's taken away. I ask him, what did you do? I asked my dad, who'd you hit, right? Like, I know you, like, who'd you hit? And they looked at me with the most serious face I've ever seen in my life. And he said, you know what, Blake? From day one, while the doctors were scrambling and kind of scared, and nurses was nervous, they seen a baby boy missing his legs. They said, but you know, when we seen you, we didn't even care about the legs. We seen the beauty inside of you. And we decided two things. The first thing, we're gonna keep a positive attitude towards the whole situation, right? And the second thing, we're gonna stick together through this whole thing, whether it's the good, the bad, or the ugly. And the beauty of having a positive attitude towards a whole situation can transcend for such a long time. It's like looking at the glass half full instead of half empty. Like, it does you no good when you go through an obstacle or a challenge to think about all the negative things that can go wrong. Because what happens is when you think about it, you subconsciously just put it in your mind. So without even knowing it, you start believing it. So if you go through a situation, you're thinking, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. And even if you're thinking about it, all that negativity starts building up in you. So flip it around, keep that positive attitude. One of my favorite quotes is from Coach Lou Holtz. He said, life is 10% of what you're dealt with and 90% on how you deal with it. I want you guys to think about that. 10%. What is that 10? My 10 is who I am as a person. I am missing both of my legs. I cannot do nothing about that at all. That's me. Me, legless Blake, right? That's me. But I still have 90% to show the world what I truly can do. I still have 90% to wake up each and every day, put one leg on at a time, and put a smile on my face and walk out the door. You see me, yes, I do have 2 disabilities, but I still have 1,000 more abilities to show the world why I'm a truly special person. I still have 1,000 more abilities to go out there and work hard, give it all I got, and never, ever give up in whatever situation that I may go through. And I know it's hard, right? You're just gonna tell yourself, let's keep a positive attitude and life gets easy. Nah, it doesn't work like that. And of course, you guys know, if I was to stand in front of you today and tell you that life is easy, keep a positive attitude, you'll be okay, I will be lying, right? Life's hard, we know that. Smack you in the face sometimes. I can remember a time where I was only about 5, 6 years old. I was playing t-ball. You guys know what t-ball is, right? Right? For this, you got your 2 type of players, but 5 or 6, you play baseball. And if you don't like being there, your parents make you go there. So you'll go and make sandcastles, right? And if you do like being there, it's all good. You win games, right? Everybody wins. So this is my T-ball season. And during this one T-ball season, I wanted to do one thing and one thing only. I had two reasons behind it. I wanted to hit a home run, right? And the reason why I wanted to hit a home run, because one thing, my father was the coach. And so since my father was the coach and I had bad games, he wouldn't just feed me, really. And so it'd be a huge complicated, guys. He'd feed me sometimes. Jeez, yeah, you guys are, ooh. And the second reason why I wanted to hit a home run was because I wanted to make my teammates proud. Because I knew if I hit a home run, right, and they was jumping and screaming, and they wouldn't even care about my legs, that would be the last thing on their mind if I was able to hit a home run. So I remember I went up to the plate and I took my 3 practice swings, and on that third one, the ball just starts flying, right? I get so excited that I forget to run. My dad's like, run, Blake, run, run. So I started hitting first, right? Ball's rolling, the ball's rolling. On my way to second, I see my dad on third. He's jumping up with joy. He's so excited. You have to understand, my dad is 5'5", 265. That's impressive, though, how high he was jumping, right? Okay? And I was like, oh my God, my dad's excited. Let me get excited. So I started getting excited. And on my way to third, after I hit second base, I was halfway there, and my leg just falls off, and I eat dirt, right? Guy comes over, tags me out, innings over, right? I can just remember like it was yesterday, sitting in that dirt, right? So broken. I felt a few emotions. First, I felt like I let my father down. He was so excited. He was jumping up with joy, and his excitement just went to frown. I felt like I let him down. Second, I felt like I let my teammates down. They was jumping with joy and finally excited for Blake. He has no legs, but we don't care. He almost hit a home. No, he didn't. I felt like I let him down. And the one most strongest feelings that I felt in that moment was embarrassment. I felt so embarrassed as my leg was on second and I'm halfway to third. I can't even run around the bases. And I can remember just sitting there thinking about it, questioning, asking, why me? What on earth did I do to deserve this? I don't get this. All I wanted to do was hit a home run for my father. All I wanted to do was make my teammates proud of me. It's bad enough that I'm missing both of my legs and I get made fun of. It's bad enough that I'm already different. Now you're telling me that I can't run around the bases because my legs have to fall off? Now you're telling me I try to hit the ball as far as I can because I know it's going to take me a little bit longer, and still? Why me? I don't get this. Why am I the only kid missing legs? Why doesn't that kid miss his legs? Why does my brother have legs? Why does my father have legs? Why does my mother have legs? I don't get this. Why me? And my father picked me up in that moment, and my teammates came and patted me on my back. And as I got older, I realized I wasn't asking the right question. Instead of asking, right, why me? We're asking something that we have no control over. Flip it. Ask yourself something that you do have control over. Why not me? I'm strong enough for this. Why not me? I'm smart enough for this. Why not me? I'm made for this. I'm a true believer that everything that we go through in life is for a reason, right? And the characteristics that you learn in a past, present, or future obstacle are going to be the same characteristics when you go through that past, present, and future obstacle. It just prepares you for that next mission. So I'm also a true believer that everything that we go through in our lives, whether it's big or whether it's small, whether it's big or whether it's small, you should give it 120%. You should always give it everything that you got, because you never know what mission is preparing you for the next year and the next year. And for me, my mission was the Paralympic Games. 2012, you guys see me in my uniform on. I'm never taking this thing off. Shoes. I wanted to compete at the Paralympic Games, wear the red uniform, have the blades, compete in front of 85,000 people, right? I wanted that. So I finally made the team, got my uniform. I think I wore this for a week straight. I was like, yeah. I was like so juiced. Like I finally got it. And I can remember right before we going into the stadium, right? I was like, you know how you guys know like how the freshmen in high school and in college are, like when they're just there, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. They have hardwood floors, they have water fountains. Oh my goodness, it's just, I love it here. I love it, after that second, third time, you're like, oh my God, get me out of here, right? But as a freshman, that's how it was. I was just like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is my first time here. I was just so excited being here. And in the call room, the guy in front of me, he was a pro. He'd been to the couple Paralympic Games. He knew this. So he looked back at me. He said, Blake, you ready? Yeah, man, what do you mean? We're here. It's game time. I've been ready. I said, all right, it's cool. It's amazing that even though the Olympics had trouble selling out, that here in the Paralympic Games, he sold out first night. I was like, that's cool. He's like, yeah, it's 85,000 people in the stands tonight. I'm like, oh, okay. That's no big deal, 85, man, right? That's when he knew he had me, right? So he said, and it's pretty amazing that everybody around the world want to watch us. I'm like, yeah, dude, we have disabilities and they still support us. It's crazy. He said, yeah, it's 11 million people watching this all around the world. Right? My toes went numb. That's how scared I was. You guys awake? Okay, make sure you guys are awake. Right? And so in that moment, right, started doubting myself. I'm thinking, what on earth am I doing here? I'm just some country bumpkin, hick belly boy from Kingsport, Tennessee, on the world stage, representing my country. I'm gonna fall. I'm not gonna finish. I'm gonna fail. What am I doing here? I had so much nervous energy balled up in my stomach. And the way my coach later explained is, when you have that nervous energy, it's good, right? And I'm like, what? How is it good to have nervous energy? He said, if you go to an event, a competition, a test, whatever the situation might be, and you didn't study for it, you didn't plan for it, you don't expect to do good at it. So you'll go, you'll take the test, you'll do the competition, you do the event, and then walk away. Oh, well, I did it. But when you flip it and you actually study for it, you actually dedicate your life to it, you actually practice and practice and practice so you know you want to do good. When you get to the competition, that's letting your body know, like, hey, guys, we got to do good on this. Get them BGs. We got to do good on this, guys. Come on, right? He said, but what we do wrong is when we get this nervous energy, we think of all the negative things that can go wrong. And we start believing it. But what we should do, because it's free energy, right? You don't have to go to Starbucks. You don't need a 5-hour energy shot. You don't need a Red Bull. Your heart's pumping, your blood is flowing, and it's free. We love free. We're students. Like some of you guys, we love free. Free 99, what? Free. Use that free energy and start manifesting positive things in your mind. So you're thinking, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. So at the end of the time, by the time you're in the blocks or you're in your competition or in your test, you've already believed that you're going to get an A. You already believe that you're going to get a gold medal because you manifested it in your mind. So right before the gun goes off, start thinking about a couple things, right? First, start thinking about all the people who used to make fun of me, right? He used to laugh, he used to point, haha, Blake has no legs, right? All the times that I got cut from the basketball team, baseball team, just because they would never give me a chance. All the times that kids, do we have to pick Blake, right? All the times that I never understood why I was the only one missing legs, right? All those hardship times. Then I started thinking about all the people who believed in me way before I believed in myself. I started thinking about my mother and my father, every person in my life that told me to get back up and keep pushing, and this is only the beginning. I started thinking about all those people that were so important in my life. Then, the last thing, I feel like it's one of the most important things, I started thinking about everything that I did up to this moment, right? Started thinking about all the extra lifts, all those extra sessions. I thought about all the graduations, funerals, weddings, everything that I missed dedicating my life to this. to this moment. Then it dawned on me, clicked for me. I want this. I need this. I deserve this. It was just like a factor, like, what sense does it make for me to train all this time, for me to work this hard and get to the top of the mountain, to the peak of the mountain and say, you know what? I'm not ready, and turn around. That's ridiculous. That makes no sense whatsoever. I done put the time and the effort. I dedicated my life to this. I should go get the gold medal because I want it, I need it, I deserve it. That's the same mindset you guys should have. For the students especially. Think about all the time and effort and extra study hours and extra classes. Everything you need in your sport, all those extra practices that you dedicated your lifetime and soul to. Why get to the peak of the mountain, top of the mountain, invest all that time, effort, and money and give up now? Why say, I'm not good enough? You are good enough. You invested all this time to get to this point in your life, and you're gonna give up now? That makes no sense whatsoever. So the gun goes off, right? And I'm running, and I'm running, and I'm running, and I'm running, right? And I get to the very end, right? I'm out at the 150, the 160, right? I'm in 5th place. So I get to the 180 because I knew for me to get a medal, I had to take 3rd place. So once I got to the 180, I was in 4th place, right? And so then I had to make a decision. Somehow I got to get myself to at least one more spot. So the first thing that popped in my mind was I could take one leg off, throw it at the guy that's in 3rd place. I would still have one other leg, and I can hop across the line like that, and I would get a medal. And my second option was to dive. Well, I figured that since they might disqualify me if I do the first thing, so I chose the latter, and I dove. So by diving across the line, it allowed for me to win my first ever Paralympic medal. It was a bronze in the 200, right? Cool. So after that, I came back, right? And in the 400, I took a silver medal, right? And for me, just to be at the games was amazing, right? To go home, come home with 2 medals was a blessing. I never even imagined even going to the Paralympic Games 4 years ago. Now, 2 years later, I'm a Paralympic medalist for a lifetime. I got my own day at home. I got the keys to the city. So much great things are happening to me. But I have the silver and the bronze, but I'm missing one color. What color am I missing? The gold. And I don't want to sound conceited or whatever the situation might be, but I don't train and dedicate my life to be number 2 or number 3, right? I do it to be the best and the best and the best in the world. I do it so I can say I'm number 1 in the world. And if I don't reach it, I want to keep fighting. I'm going to keep fighting, and I'm going to keep fighting until I do become number 1. That's my mindset, and that's the same thing you guys should have. You should always fight to be number 1. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm happy and I'm thankful for my medals. That's the same thing. You guys should always be happy and should be thankful for the opportunities that's presented in front of you, but never be satisfied. You should always want more. You should always push more because you worked for it. You deserve it. So you know what I did? I went home, I trained. I studied my races. I became stronger physically. I became stronger mentally. I became stronger spiritually. I became stronger in every aspect I could ever imagine. And I came back 2013, World Championships. I had 4 races. I had the 100 meters, I had the 200 meters, I had the 400 meters, and I had the 4x1 relay. And going into this, I just knew I was gonna win my gold medal. I just knew I had this. I've never been so strong in my life. I've never been so prepared in my life that I just knew that this was gonna happen. So first race, 100 meters. Ready for this. Get in front of the camera, do my little dance, whatever. Like, no, okay, we still looking good, Blake. Okay, good, we're good, right? Gun goes off. I'm running across the line. What you guys think? Took a silver. And I was like, okay, it's cool, right? Still want the gold. But once I got that silver, people started looking around. Oh, you heard Blake got the silver, didn't you? Oh, yeah, I heard. But he still got 3 more shots, so we're good, right? So I have the 200 meters, right? And I took a bronze, so everybody expected me to be a gold medalist for this one because I was one of the top 3s last year. Gun goes off. I'm running. I'm giving it all I got across the line. And I take another silver, right? Then people really started talking. Uh-oh. Blake said he was training, but y'all see them 2 silver medals that he got, right? People started talking, and their perception, I started believing, right? Maybe I am a silver medalist. But then I have 2 more races. I have the 400 meters. And even though everybody was talking, I didn't believe it, because you know what? I took a silver in the 400 last year. I'm bound to win a gold for this. So I don't care what nobody else says. I got this. I don't care about the perception. I got this, right? And so we get to the 400, and I'm ready for this, right? Gun goes off. I'm running. I literally run until I can't run anymore. I run until I almost puke, right? Come across the line. Guess what? I got another silver, right? And at this moment, I'm done. I started believing everybody else's perception. Everybody saying, well, Blake's a silver medal, he'll never get a gold. And by listening to it, I started hearing it, and you know what? I started believing it. I told myself, you know, Blake, maybe next year, maybe you're not ready. Maybe this gold isn't meant for you, right? But I had one more race. It was a 4x100 meter relay. So me and 3 other guys run 1 lap around the track evenly. And these guys seen me that I had my head down, they seen the silver medals that I've taken all week. And they seen that I was down, and I started believing and perceiving what everybody else believed and perceived in me, which was a silver medal. And here these guys come smiling with joy. It was like, Blake, we know you've been taking silver all week, but it's okay, because together we're gonna win this gold. So we became best friends. We trained together. We ate together. We watched film together. We became one as a unit, right? And just like that, my perception changed. This whole week, I was thinking, silver, I'm never will be good enough. But just because a group of individuals came, they changed my perception. The only thing that was in my mind was that gold medal. That was it. So we get to the race of 4x100 relay. First leg passes the second leg passes the third leg passes to me. Come on, guys, you know I want to do it, right? Come on. We break the world record by a whole second, and I get my first ever gold medal. And through that whole week, you know, I look back, and it really wasn't even the medals. It was individually. Even though I was so prepared, mentally, physically, and spiritually, even though I was so ready, the most ready I've ever been in my life, I was still coming up short. And coming up short. I'm coming up short. Then I started believing in everybody else's perception. And then before you know it, I'm a silver medalist. It took me a team of individuals working together, becoming best friends, watching film together, trusting each other, for me to break the world record and get my first gold medal. And it works the same thing in life. When you're out there by yourself, and you can be so prepared individually, but this obstacle, this task at hand, sometimes it's virtually impossible to do it by yourself. You need you a team in life that's gonna work just as hard as you, that you trust, that you know that wants that gold medal or that world record just as bad as you do. And that when you're down and out, and you start believing the non-believers and the haters and the naysayers, you're gonna need that team to have that positive attitude, to change your perception on life, to bring your spirits up, to let you know that, hey, you're not alone. We got this together. And with a team working together on the same page, you will get your gold medal in life. You will break your world record in life. As I close, I want to end you guys with this quote. Before I say the quote, I want you guys just to think about this. The day I was born, doctors said I would never walk. They said I would never run, jump, play. They perceived me to live a subpar life. And I'm standing in front of you today saying that I'm one of the fastest runners in the world. If that's not a testimony, whatever you want to call it, it's letting you know that whatever you go through in life, whatever that obstacle or challenge might be, with the right heart, the right mind, the right focus, the right team, the right positive attitude, the right perception, you can physically, mentally overcome any challenge that comes your way. And as my quote, it's from Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, if you cannot fly, run. And if you cannot run, walk. And if you cannot walk, crawl. But whatever you do, you must keep moving forward. Thank you guys so much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
For the Q&A?
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, everybody.
So we're going to open it up now for question and answers. Katie and Sheila both, Katie has a mic. If you want to make your way, Katie.
I'm a pretty big fan of athletics in general. I was watching the Paralympics in London, and I noticed that there was a lot of publicity generated for it. There was a lot of good reception for it, and I'm just wondering, do you think how you thought this contributed to the Paralympic movement in general? How do you think things will be different, or the general attitude and perception towards the Paralympics and towards overcoming disability in athletics will be different, or how it will be improved in Rio in 2016? And my second question, sorry, this is really short. I'm from Toronto, and I'm just curious whether you're going to be in the Parapans next year.
Yes, I will be in Parapans, so I better see you there. Awesome. So at least I know I have one fan. And and to your first question, it's amazing how far Paralympics have come. I think they said back in 2004 or 2000 in Sydney, they maybe had like less than 1,000 people in the stands, right? And of course, 12 years later at the London Paralympics, we had 85,000 people in the stands. So that just lets you know how far it has come. Now, it still can come a long way. Here in the United States, a lot of people really don't even know what Paralympics is. They confuse us with Special Olympics. Or they don't even think that we even exist. So it goes with a lot of just educating a lot of individuals, just letting them know that, one, we compete for a medal. We train just as hard as the Olympic athletes. And two, just because we have a physical disability doesn't mean that we're not an athlete. And that we can run times and compete on a high level as an Olympic athlete. And so that goes, at the beginning by, that's why I love doing this. I can go around and tell people my story, and they can go and tell 2 people, and they can go tell 2 more people, and they can go and tell 2 more people. And that's how, slowly and surely it starts changing. And I'm really excited about Rio because, of course, as you guys know, Rio is not a rich country. They don't spend much, probably on the infrastructure or whatever. But what makes Rio so special is the culture, the people. They don't have to have $1 million in a bank account to have fun. They probably don't even have $2 in a bank account, and they still have a smile on their face, banging drums and dancing like they're the richest people in the world, right? And that spirit right there is what's gonna make the 2016 Paralympics and Olympics so special. It really will.
So how did you what made you come up with that ending kind of goal? Not like the one you took at the Martin Luther King quote, but the where you had kept trying, like it takes a team to do certain obstacles in life.
Yeah. So basically, where I came up with the quote with the team is that, you know, when it comes to track and field, we're running by ourselves. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think it's a very individual sport. And I can't sit here and tell you that track is not an individual sport. I have a coach. I have a weight room coach. I have a nutritionist. I have a physical therapist. I have acupuncturists. I have a prosthetist. Like, there's so many people on my team, right, that's in the backgrounds, right, that people don't realize that makes me who I am as a person. And so that's the first thing that I realized the importance of a team. For me, that's when I realized, like, wow, it's hard to do it by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. And another reason why I love that story is because when I was winning these silver medals, man, I was down and out, right? I mean, even though it was silver, I was thankful, but my mindset was gold. So in my eyes, I was failing. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. And when you're by yourself, you start believing the people around you, right? You start believing their perception. And once you realize that people don't think much about you, especially people that don't like you, right? They think that you can't do this. They think you can't do that. And if you listen to what they think you can do, you're going to sell yourself short. So the power of that team is having a group of individuals that you can trust, that you know will always have your best interest, that you know that will always give you the right advice, right? And in that situation, when I started listening to everybody else, I knew exactly who to go to lift me up. So that's the importance of having a team, is that when you do have your tough times and you feel like you can't go no more, you need some words of encouragement. You know, it's one thing having no words of encouragement. It's two things having words of encouragement that you believe. So that's why you reach out to that team, people, a group of individuals that you deep down in your heart feel are in your life for a reason, and that you truly can trust their advice.
So my question is, how did you get into running? Like, how did you realize that is what you love to do?
Yeah, so basically I grew up missing both of my legs, played basketball and baseball as my two favorite sports. I played on my varsity basketball team and my varsity baseball team. And then, of course, after I graduated high school, you know, I'm not going to go to the NBA or to the MLB. I could raise my legs up to like 8 foot, but it might be illegal. So, you know, I pursued my education. I went in to the University of Tennessee, applied physics and pre-med, and that was my goal. It wasn't until 2007, 2008, my freshman year in college, I seen the Paralympic Games on TV. Made top 10, 100 meters, it was a really close 100-meter race, and just like that, my perception changed. I never ran a day in my life, but just because I seen it, I believed it. People are doing it now, so I can do it. And since my perception changed, I truly believed deep down in my heart that I could do it. And so from that moment on, even though I never ran a race in my life, I told people, this is what I want to do. I want to become a professional runner. I don't care if you laugh at me or not. I know it can be done, so I'm going to do it. And of course, I heard a lot of no's. I got a lot of laughs. Blake, you mean to tell me that a guy with no legs wanted to become a professional runner? Right? It was comical to some people. And I heard tons of no's, but I realized that if you really care about that journey, if you're really passionate about, you can hear 1,000 no's, and you only need to hear one yes, and then the rest will come together.
It was more than inspiring. It was really enlightening.
And I get the sense that even though everybody feels super inspired, if we really thought about it, we might almost take your optimism for granted because of how high-spirited you are. You've been talking about your experience when you were little on the baseball field, which was really beautiful and candid and kind of poetic. And I don't take it completely for granted, but that's because I know what it means to have that, but really, really have to dig super deep for it. And I'm sure a lot of people hearing about that too. So I thought I would love to know whatever you're willing to expose about your spiritual development, because that's something that I can't really do guesswork on, you know?
Yeah, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, people ask me, like, how do you keep a smile on your face, or how do you stay so optimistic, or what keeps your spirits up? And it's really two things. First thing, with everything I've been through and the different disabilities I've been able to see through my life in different countries, and you guys may look at me and like, man, I could only imagine how it must be growing up without legs, right? That sounds terrible. But I can literally look at you and tell you guys it could be way worse, right? I could be missing my legs and my arms, right? I could be missing my legs and never have the prosthetics to help me walk, right? And I'm giving you some real live case situations that I've met personally, right? And you know, I keep thinking about it, and I do have my hard days, and I do feel like, you know, some days I can't go much longer than I just think, like, man, this could be so much worse. And that just puts a smile on my face, because, you know, I turn my gratefulness, or, you know, my sadness into thankfulness and happiness, because I'm just thankful for the things that I truly do have. You know what I mean? And another thing, it was actually funny. I learned this today. It was at the hospitals, and it was one of the prosthetists. He was just talking about my spirit, and he said, "You know other reason why you smile? Because you cried so much." And I thought about that. I was like, oh my God, that's so true. Like, I've cried my tears. I've had the pain. I've been through it. I've cried as my mom has cried, my father's cried. We've asked the what ifs. Like, everything has been done. You know, I'm done crying. I'm done feeling sorry for myself. I'm done with all of that. Right? I've done it so much. I'm over it. The only thing I'm going to do now from this point on is put a smile on my face and be happy for what I have. Like, I'm so over of being sad and being upset and feeling sorry for myself. That's the past. That's such the past. Like, I've done that. So now I'm here to enlighten people and enlighten myself. And now, instead of worrying about the past or what ifs, I'm thinking of a solution. I'm missing my legs. Now what can I do with it? First thing, I can have a positive attitude and put a smile on my face.
We have time for one more question.
While I find your story very moving and inspiring, I think there's something dangerous about inspiration insofar as it individualizes a psychology disability. The fact of the matter is that persons with disabilities are employed at a percentage of 19%. And that hasn't changed in 40 years before and after the passage of the ADA. So what do you have to say about the structural and social and cultural changes that happen for the majority of people with disabilities to flourish?
Yeah, it sucks. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. No, but seriously, I tell people this, and I tell kids this, and whoever has a physical disability, whatever the situation might be, the biggest disability that is not your physical disability is going to be the people around you, because they're going to make you disabled more than you yourself. And that's when I think the biggest situation is that a lot of people set the bar low for the physical disabled. They think, well, since you're missing your legs, or since you're in a wheelchair, or since you can't hear, or since you have cerebral palsy, you can't do that. You're not supposed to be able to do that. And a lot of physical disabled people believe that. Their perception is off. And I think what's been beneficial for me is that my mother and my father changed my perception, letting me know early on, like, you can't listen to what other people say, right? You have to truly believe what you believe in your heart. And anything that you believe that you can do, go do it. It doesn't matter if people don't laugh at you or point at you. You got to go do it. And what's happening is people with physical disabilities, they're letting people around them without disabilities, people with legs, people who are walking, setting the limits and boundaries, they have no clue what it's like. They have no clue what life like as an amputee. They have no clue what life like as being in a wheelchair. So how could they have the audacity to tell me what I can and cannot do? They don't know what I go through. So if you have a physical disability, why would you listen to somebody who don't even walk a mile in your shoes, don't even walk a half a mile in your shoes? But the issue is they listen to people whose opinions don't even make a factor in their life. It's not even an educated answer. And that's another thing, is that people in America are not educated about the situation. And I get this all the time. What happens is I'm walking around in the mall or whatever the situation might be, and I have my shorts on, and somebody looks at me and they think about all the bad things I probably went through that makes it feel terrible, right? Then they probably think about somebody they can relate to, and think about all the bad things they've been through. And reality hits them quick, really quick. Oh my God, life isn't all fun and dandy, right? Then they get uncomfortable. Then they look away. Then they look again. Then they look away like, oh my God, that's terrible, right? That the only thing they had to do was come up to me, ask me, young man, what happened? I'm interested. And I could tell them, oh my goodness, well, I was born with this, and I grew up my whole life with this situation. Now I'm a Paralympic runner, I'm the fastest man in the world, and I didn't have that much issues. I lived a fulfilled life. And that could have changed their perception on disability just like that. But we're so afraid, right, of asking people about the situation. We're so afraid to go up to somebody in a wheelchair and ask them their story that we're missing out on opportunities that can educate us. And I was talking to the students earlier that you can learn something, and it might not directly transcend your life, but you might know somebody that you can relay the information to. And they might not believe me telling the information, but since you know them on a personal level, they'll hear every word that you say. So I think the issue is, one, we're afraid, and two, we're not asking the right questions. We're not educated enough. And the second that we stop and don't worry about the past, right? You look at me, I went through tragedy. I had to go through tragedy. It's bad, right? That's the past. Who cares about that? We do have to tell the story, but let's focus on what we're doing now. Like, it's not about me missing legs. It's about what I'm doing missing legs, right? That's the story. But we get so caught up in the fact that I'm missing legs that we forget to even ask or even worry about, well, what is he doing now with his life? Or what is she doing now with her lives? And so the second that we quit worrying about the tragedy and get uncomfortable and ask the questions, well, what are you doing now? What are you doing now with your life? I'm interested. How did you overcome this challenge? What information can you give me that can help me in my life? That's when I feel like those numbers will change.
So we're going to close the program tonight, and I'm going to ask you all to please join me in extending a very special thank you to Blake Leeper for his courage and resilience and for his willingness to share his experiences with us. On behalf of Campus and Student Life, we thank all of you for taking time to join us this evening. Let's use this as an opportunity for us to remember that we each have a story to tell, and our story is a valid one. There's something to learn from, question, and ultimately grow if we're willing to listen, to reflect, and to engage. I challenge each of you to use our own privilege and to act. We cannot continue to require individuals with disabilities to accommodate to an ableist societal model. Rather, we really must challenge our society to adopt a model of universal inclusion. We must continue to heighten awareness and work to eliminate barriers for all communities. Share this story with others, think about your own, and challenge your level of comfort so that we can all act. Thank you again. As you leave, we invite you to join Student Disability Services Open House, which is just across the street, located at 5501 South Ellis. And remember that we all have a role to play.